What's up with it? Y'all already know you tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go talking that boxing again. You know what I'm saying? We're a little late today, but we here. John Kramer, salute off in the building. What's happening with it? And when y'all come in the building, make sure that y'all smash on that like button and let me know that you in the building. Phil J 508, what's happening with it? Mr. DBMH, what's good with it? Yes, sir. Y'all smash on that like button. Like I said, as you come in the building, so they can, at least get some of my notifications out. Although I am late today, you dig? But we got things to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We got things to talk about. And who ready for football season? Let me get what teams y'all riding with. If you watch football, put your team in the chat. Put your team in the chat if you watch football. If you watch football, let me see what team y'all rocking with. Put the team that y'all rocking with in the chat. Sheena, what's going on with it, Sheena? The queen in the building. Yes, sir. My man Julio Martinez says the Chiefs. Yeah, man, the Chiefs. Yes, sir. The Chiefs. I'm looking for the Chiefs to do big things. I'm looking for the Chiefs to do big things. You know, but the thing in football is you always gotta say we really don't know what's gonna go down because of injuries. Um, the Chiefs, they got who they playing the first game of the season. I think we got the Chiefs playing the Browns. That's gonna be a good game. The Chiefs against the Browns. I actually put the Chiefs on one of my parlay cards. I think they're gonna beat the Browns, but that's gonna be a good game. My man KG, what's happening with it? Salute. J.A. Dixon said he rolling with the Falcons and the Raiders. All right, well, you gotta pick one, J.A. If you gotta pick one, who is it? Who is it? KG said the Raider gang all day. Nigga, you look like a Raiders fan. Hey, KG, man, salute to my boy KG. Yeah, injuries and COVID, man. Sheena, uh, yeah, man, the people sleeping on the Browns, but the Browns might be good, and they got Odell Beckham back, but I don't think they're gonna get past the KC. I don't think they're gonna get past KC. My man Marcus Hayes said Cowboys for life. Man, I've been a Cowboys fan my whole life too, and they get on my goddamn nerves. Like for real. They get on my nerves so goddamn bad. But one thing I'm gonna let you know about them Cowboys is the Bucks is gonna tear our ass up. The Bucks gonna tear our ass up. First of all, Dak Prescott, he ain't played in basically a year. And then they think that they can sit him out because he got some type of shoulder injury for the whole preseason. And then you think you just gonna get thrown in the game against the Bucks? Man, come on, bro. Them Bucks finna tear their ass up. And I'm gonna tell y'all one thing about Dak Prescott. If you look at Dak Prescott, he cannot play good. He never plays good. Never. Besides his first year in the league, Dak Prescott never ever played good when he's up against a good defense. When he's up against a good defense or a pretty good defense, he never plays good. The only time Dak Prescott show out is when he's up against a weak defense. So think about that when I'm telling you. We really never seen Dak Prescott play good against a good defense, and the Bucs got a good defense. The fuck, man? Hold on. Let me see what this is. Who this is? Get my dough. Okay, yeah. So I think that the Bucs is gonna tear our ass up, but we're gonna see what they're gonna do the rest of the season once they really get their feet wet. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the defense is gonna play. Because everybody know that the Cowboys had a horrible defense last year. They been had a horrible defense. So I'm looking forward to seeing Parsons. You know what I'm saying? Parsons, he a hell of a linebacker. Hell of a linebacker. Jabril Cox, he a good ass linebacker. Shit, he might take he might take Jalen Smith's starting position, right? We already know Parsons. He taking somebody's position, and that's just true. That's what it's gonna be. Julio Martinez said he kind of like the Bills. The Bills are solid this year. What's happening with it, Batman? What's good with it, Batman? What's happening with it, Chris? Chris Mitchell off in the building. Hey, KG said all the Cowboys got to do is go 8-8. You pretty much right. Shit, if they go 7-9, they might win that fucking division. You know what I'm talking about? J.A. Dixon said the Falcons, but I'm still mad that Julio trade. Yeah, that's going. I don't know what the Falcons gonna look like. I don't think the Falcons gonna look too good this year. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the Falcons gonna look too good this year. But and y'all hit that like button as you come in the building. Smash on that like button as you come in the building. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to football season this year. I'm looking forward to football season. Hopefully COVID don't mess everything up. But they look like that they're gonna pull a fast one on Cam Newton. They look like that they're gonna blackball Cam Newton from starting. You know what I'm saying? They talking about, it was a misunderstanding. Cam Newton couldn't play. He couldn't practice for 7 days straight, right? And I look at that as them making the excuse to put that white dude, what's his name, from the quarterback from Alabama, that rookie in. They finna take that starting spot from Cam Newton. And I'm kind of like with the Patriots situation, right? Because they want Mac Jones to start. You know what I'm saying? We know the Patriot way. They want that white boy Mac Jones to start. Mac Jones. They want Mac Jones to start. That's obvious, right? And so I look at it like this. Put his ass up in there, right? Go and throw his ass up in there and let them eat him alive. Because the Patriots, they don't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got all them weapons. You need a quarterback like Cam Newton. You're going to need a quarterback that's dynamic like Cam Newton. Throw his motherfucking ass up in there. Throw Mac, since y'all want him to start so bad, right? And you trying to run all these narratives, because Cam Newton, he ain't took no fucking vaccine. Well, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? That's his decision, right? But they're going to try to take that starting spot from Cam Newton because they want that rookie in there. You know what I'm saying? Because he got the look that they want. But put him in there. Put his ass off in there. And they're going to see it's going to get real ugly real fast. I don't give a damn how good he looked in preseason. That don't mean shit. And Mac Jones, to me, he was never like no super spectacular quarterback in college. To me, he just had a great team around him. He had great weapons around him. You know what I'm saying? We know how Alabama roll. They always have a great offensive line. They always had the best wide receivers, running backs. Throw him in there in the Patriots. Throw his ass in there, and he gonna find out real quick. Yeah, and everybody gonna see. Damn, Cam Newton didn't have no weapons around him. You know, and they got a lot better weapons on the Patriots than they did last year, but they still don't got weapons like that. They needed Cam Newton back there. So throw Mac Jones in there. Throw his ass up in there. Give them what they want. Oh, DP Rocket, so yeah, Cam can play. Cam can still play. You don't have that much talent and then just forget how to play. Cam was injured, and then last year, you know what I'm saying? You gave that man no weapons. Last year, the Patriots last year had less weapons on that team than any other team probably in the NFL. You see what I'm saying? But you know, let's throw his ass in there. Yeah. Like I said, Batman, they got more weapons than they did last year. You know what I'm saying? They strong at the tight end position. I think they cool at the running back position right now, but not for no. They don't have enough they don't have enough weapons for a rookie to shine. You know what I'm saying? Sheena, ain't nobody thinking about his weird ass. You know what I'm saying? I would, but I ain't even really got time for that right now. I'm not finna let him slow up the roll. You know, he can think what he want to. I really don't give a damn. But at the end of the day, I'm excited for the football season to come back. So, you know, let's get it. And y'all smash on that like button as you come in the building. Smash on the like button as you come in the building. And so one thing I want to start off, we going, you know what I'm saying, we're going to get straight into it. We're going to get straight into it. Let's talk about Adrien Broner, you know. So hearing news that Adrien Broner is looking to make a comeback. We know that Adrien Broner has been vocal ever since he fought Santiago that he wanted to get back in the ring. You know, he actually posted a private text that he sent to Al Heyman talking about Al Heyman was holding his money, babysitting his money and all of that, which I think was very disrespectful because you never put business like that out in the open. Like you sent a text to Al Heyman, right? That's supposed to be between you and Al Heyman. You dig what I'm saying? That shit's supposed to be between you and Al Heyman. You don't put that type of message out there for the world to see. That's personal shit. So I think that Al Heyman and PBC feel some way about that. So if some news came about recently that Adrien Broner might be getting back in the ring against Conor Benn. Now we know that Conor Benn, he got a fight coming up in about a week or so. You know, a little more than a week from now. He got a fight coming up against Adrien Granados. Now I'm looking for Conor Benn to go out there and do his thing and get Adrien Granados up out of there. So after he fights Adrien Granados, if Conor Benn is able to get past Adrien Granados, we got Eddie Hearn talking about that they've been in negotiations, early negotiations, right, for a fight between Adrien Granados and Adrien Broner, right, later on this year. Now, it's a whole bunch of ifs, ands, and buts surrounding that. Now, and I got a whole bunch of questions, right? So, if the fight happens, you know, I'm looking for that fight is it going to be on DAZN? Is it going to be on PBC? Because Conor Benn is a DAZN fighter. Conor Benn is one of the, you know, top up-and-coming prospects for, you know, Matchroom, DAZN, right? So where is this fight going to take place? Now, when I heard Conor Benn and Adrien Broner, right, could take place, the first thing that came up in my head was Al Heyman and them, they sick of Adrien Broner. They just gonna throw him out there, let him get slaughtered by a young, you know what I'm saying, hungry lion Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, if you think that Adrien Broner can beat Conor Ben, you done lost your damn mind. Adrien Broner cannot beat nobody on that level right now. He can't. I watch, and you know, I don't talk about these fighters' personal things that they do in their personal life, but he puts it out there. So we can talk about it. Adrien Broner puts it out there, right? If you have him on IG, he putting it out there every day, right? He's putting it out there every day. Adrien Broner is drinking all day, every day, right? He fucked up right now. He's fucked up in the head mentally. And Adrien Broner is just he's a wreck right now. You feel what I'm saying? He's a wreck right now. I'm not gonna get into his personal life with his wife and all of that, but Adrien Broner is a wreck right now. And Adrien Broner, the way he posts this stuff every day. He eats horrible. Like you can't eat more horrible than Adrien Broner does. He eats horrible. He drink every day, all day, and he come back to the hotel he be staying in, pissy drunk with, you know what I'm saying, with the new girlfriend that he got, and that's what he do. You know what I'm saying? He is not in no type of mental shape to fight. He's not in no type of physical shape to fight now or next year. Now or next year. So I think that Al Haymon is pretty much like, you know what I'm saying? If we see Adrien Broner fight on a DAZN fight card or whatever, right? I think that Al Haymon is pretty much like, let him do what he want to do. I'm pretty much done with this dude. Everybody knows that everybody that has common sense. So y'all can take this how you want to. Anybody that has common sense knows that Adrien Broner is washed up, fresh off spin cycle right now. He's washed up. You can't. I'm talking about he been like this for the past few years. You can't drink every day, all day, eat horrible, you know what I'm saying, and be sloppy drunk, and think that you're going to be able to get in the ring. We seen how he looked against, what's his name, Santiago. We seen how he looked in his last fight against a nobody, right? Giovanni Santiago. My man, right? My man, Batman's brother, right? Gary Antoine Russell went in there and made Giovanni Santiago look like he was supposed to look, right? He did Adrien Broner's job for him. He went in there and he beat the dog shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think that Giovanni Santiago touched Gary Antoine Russell. I don't even think he touched him the whole fight. He went in there and he mopped the floor with him. It made him look like a fighter that should never be in the ring with no fighter at any top caliber, right? So that should tell you everything you need to know about Adrien Broner. So we see how he looked his last fight, right? Now, I would give Adrien Broner some benefit of the doubt if he had started living a different lifestyle after his last fight. We could say, okay, he had a tune-up fight. He been training. He been eating good. He's still on the road to, his comeback. But no, right after his tune-up fight, he went back to living the same lifestyle that he was living when he was off for, 2 years. Eating fucking horrible, drinking, getting pissy, sloppy drunk every day. And that's what he's doing. So if anybody think that he's going to look any better than what he did his last fight, I'm here to tell you, he probably going to look worse, a lot worse, because he's been continuing to live a horrible lifestyle. So his body is getting more out of shape, putting more poison in his body. And it's just, what I'm saying? It's not a good look. He's going to go in there. If they do go through with this Conor Ben, it's going to get real ugly for Adrien Broner. It's going to get ugly like Grace Jones and Seal had a baby. It's going to get that ugly for Adrien Broner. So, J.A. Dixon says that man needs help. Get that shit together, AB, before it gets worse. It's, I mean, worse for AB now, and he really does need help. He even put up, he put up a post yesterday, right? And it was it was numbers to like 1-800 numbers to, 1-800 hotline numbers to like alcohol abuse, suicidal abuse, like all type of different shit, right? He put up numbers to like, and he said, I need to be calling one of these numbers. He knows that he's messed up right now. You dig what I'm saying? He knows that. So I think that if Al Heyman is, BC, this is the thing where this is a reason why Al Heyman and them have been putting him on the shelf, because they've been looking out for Adrien Broner. They know that Adrien Broner is fucked up. So they don't want to throw him in the ring knowing that he can't beat none of these dudes. But if we see Adrien Broner get put in the ring with Conor Benn, I think that at that point in time, we're going to know that Al Heyman and the PBC have just washed their hands with Adrien Broner. They know he don't have no chance of beating Conor Benn. He don't. He don't have no chance. None at all. His chances of beating Conor Benn is probably a 1% chance. And I'm gonna tell you, and I know a lot of y'all, oh well, you got to give Adrien Broner more credit. No, the fuck I don't. No, I don't, because I gotta tell y'all like this. Has Adrien Broner ever stopped a 147-pound fighter? Has he ever stopped a fighter at 147? Besides Ashley Theopan, right? And when Adrien Broner fought Ashley Theopan, he was in a lot better condition and a lot better mental mind state than he is right now. No. Other than Ashley Theopan, Adrien Broner ain't stopped nobody, actually, since Ashley Theopan. And he hadn't stopped nobody a long time before he fought Ashley Theopan. Let's go to 140. Adrien Broner ever stopped anybody at 140? No. The last real opponent that Adrien Broner really ever stopped that I can think of was Antonio DeMarco. And that shit happened way back in 2012. So the reason I'm talking about stoppages is because when you say, okay, well, you got to give Adrien Broner some type of chance. Well, the only chance you can give Adrien Broner is a chance of stopping Conor Benn. And that's like a 0% chance almost, because if you look at his history, he ain't stopping nobody. He don't throw enough punches to stop nobody. He might throw a quick flurry in a fight. In the whole 12 rounds, he might throw a quick flurry and he might catch you and stun you to be able to, drop you real quick. He ain't stopping nobody. He's never had one punch knockout power like that. He just has enough power. He just had enough power when he started moving up in weight to, hit you with a shot that you didn't see to stun you real quick, to where you're not necessarily hurt like that. You just, you just didn't see the shot. You wouldn't. But he ain't even got hand speed like that no more, to tell you the truth. His hand speed ain't hitting like that no more. DP Rocker he said he from my city. And salute to you in that Cash App, DP Rock. I mean, in the super chat, DP Rocker. Yeah, man. And AB was one of my favorite fighters of all time, man. I loved AB, but we just got to keep it 100. And y'all hit the like button. Please, if you can't do nothing else to support the channel, just hit the like button, because that helps with the analytics and it helps for them to get the live stream out. I came on real late, so they not gonna send out most of my notifications anyway. But just hit the like button. So, and R. West said he literally only fighting for a paycheck. Not sure anybody from his side expects him to win. Yeah, I mean, you know, he out here looking bad. Like I say, I watch his stories every day. I could pull up his. I bet you he got some crazy shit on there right now. And I ain't even gonna talk about the stuff that he be putting on his stories, because he be putting some wild shit on his stories. You know what I'm saying? AB put some wild stuff on there. Damn. Look, he looked like he might have got into it. If y'all go to AB's story right now, he got a big ass cut across his nose. Right there. Right? He got a big ass cut across his nose right there. And so, and I know he ain't been sparring. So he didn't got into it with somebody, because he got a big cut across his nose if you go to his story right now. Right? 817 Boxing B says, I'm still gonna roll with AB. Now, salute to you, 817. What you mean by rolling with AB? Do you mean that you still gonna root for him to win? Or do you mean that you gonna pick him to win? Because I know you ain't no damn fool to pick AB to beat no Conor Ben. So what you gotta clarify to me, 817, what you mean by you still gonna roll with it. At this point in time, it don't matter if you pick if you rooting for him to win or not. He ain't gonna win. I don't, and this is not me being funny. I don't think that AB can beat Ivan Redkach right now. I don't. I really don't. And he showed in the hell ain't he's not even gonna compete with Conor Ben. Only thing that AB might do with Conor Ben is fight to survive enough to, you know, because we know he got a chin, and we know that AB he know how to fight to survive enough to get, you know, past 10 or 12 rounds. D-Love 4 Boxing says, when drunk motherfuckers fall down and bump into shit, they tend to get lacerations and shit. Yeah, that could have been that could be. So, you know, don't let me. He could have, you know what I'm saying, he could have fell down and hit his nose or something. But his shit shows split across there right now. Harry Jones Jr. I don't want to see him fight ever again either. I told y'all, after I seen AB perform like he did against Giovanni Mosquito, perform like he did against Giovanni Santiago. Yeah, I said at that point in time, I never want to see him in the ring again. For what? They gave you the weakest opponent that they could find. They gave it to you. And you perform like you did against that caliber of opponent. Why would I want to see you in the ring? I don't understand. I don't want to see you in the ring no more. And I understand, you know, I'm not gonna stop him from getting his money. I'm not gonna stop him from getting his money, but I don't care for seeing you in the ring no more. I mean, it's nothing. The only thing exciting about AB is what he does outside of the ring. Adrien Broner does nothing spectacular or nothing exciting inside of the ring. Nothing at all. Name me right now, name me one thing that excites you about seeing Adrien Broner inside the ring. I'm talking about once the bell rings. I'm not talking about the press conference and the lead up to the fight and all of that shit. Name me one thing that Adrien Broner does that excites you to when he gets inside of the ring. Name me one thing. John Kramer, he could have been the face of boxing. All Adrien Broner had to do, but see, it was a lot of things wrong with Adrien Broner's career. The first thing I think it started from his coach. And I tell y'all this all the time, I never liked Mike Stafford as a coach in the professional ranks, period. Right? You look at Rasheed Warren. Look how good Rasheed Warren was in the amateur ranks. Rasheed Warren was probably one of the best amateurs of all time. He came to the professional ranks, and his problem was, damn, man, these damn mosquitoes. He came to the professional ranks, and Rasheed Warren's problem is that Mike Stafford is not a good professional coach, right? So one thing was his coach. Another thing is he never had the right people around him. You know what I'm saying? He still had, you know what I'm saying? You got a young kid coming from the streets, literally coming from the streets. He never had the right people around him. And then, so that's another thing that was wrong with Adrien Broner, right? Then he was trying to be like Floyd. He was trying to be too much like Floyd, but he never took the work ethic of Floyd, right? He got around Floyd Mayweather at an early age, right? Early on in his career. And I think that did a lot of damage to him because instead of looking at Floyd's work ethic, right? He looked at what Floyd had, right? And the things that Floyd had around him. And Floyd liked to party, right? So he looked at that, but he didn't take the key things that Floyd was doing. Yeah, Floyd might party a lot, but Floyd would leave the party and go straight to training, right? Floyd never smoked. He never drank. So yeah, he looked at the luxury lifestyle that Floyd had, but he didn't look at the little details. While Floyd was able to have that luxury lifestyle. You see, he looked at Floyd and he took the wrong things and ran with what he saw Floyd doing. He didn't take the main key factors that Floyd was doing. The work ethic and to live a fighter's lifestyle he didn't put nothing in his body. So when Adrien Broner looked at Floyd, well, Floyd is partying all night. Well, Floyd party all night, he go train. You party all night and you getting pissy drunk. And it's no way you can go train. You can't go fucking run a lap because you're going to throw up. So it's a lot of different key factors, right? But I think the main thing started with his coach because it's like Mike Stafford. AB brought Mike Stafford to that level. Nobody knew who Mike Stafford was unless he was in the amateurs, right? So I think that Mike Stafford was just happy to work, right? I ain't really gonna get on his helmet and really, it's kind of like he had a whole bunch of yes men around him because shit, AB like, what are y'all without me? Who are y'all without me? Y'all are nobody without me. Floyd Mayweather never had that in his career. Floyd Mayweather, he grew up around fighters. You see what I'm saying? He grew up around his uncle and his dad that pushed him. It wasn't no, you're gonna drink and it wasn't no fucking around. They was militant. Adrien Broner never had that. So it's a lot. So you trying to be like Floyd Mayweather and you weren't ever gonna be able to be like Floyd Mayweather. You see what I'm saying? It's just Floyd Mayweather had different things in his life to make him the way that he was that you never had. So it's a lot of different elements, but we always say if Adrien Broner had that discipline like Floyd Mayweather, oh yeah, he could have been bigger than Floyd. I think that as far as like maybe natural raw talent, he might have had more natural raw talent than Floyd Mayweather. But it don't matter how much raw talent you have because you know what I'm saying? You're never going to reach your full potential if you don't have that certain type of work ethic. You know what I'm saying? And continue to get better. One thing that I always say about Adrien Broner is he never got better after a certain point. He reached the wall and it was just like, that's it. You see what I'm saying? You've never seen Adrien Broner get better after the Antonio DeMarco fight. You never seen him implement new things. And this is early. We're talking about 24 years old, 23 years old. This is early on in his career. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about the best fighters that got better and continue. And then, he never got better. You see what I'm saying? And the reason you can point to that is because of his coach, the people that he had around him. Certain coaches can only get you to a certain point. And it takes you to realize that. Adrien Broner realized that later on in his career. Why you think he left Mike Stafford and started training with Kevin Cunningham? But the thing is, you didn't stay with Kevin Cunningham, right? And by that time, it's kind of too far along in your career, and you too set in your ways. You too set in on all of the toxic things that you're doing outside of the ring. So Kevin Cunningham can't stop all of that. Now you far along in your career. I wish that Adrien Broner, and I was saying this shit way back in, like, I started saying that I didn't like Mike Stafford for him before he fought. Way before I said this shit, way before I started saying it to fight before he fought Marcos Maidana. I said, I don't like Mike Stafford. I said, it's something about him. I don't like him, training AB. I said that way back then. And I think that, pretty much everybody could agree with me that Mike Stafford is not a good coach. And like I said, look at Rashid Warren. Look at all of the fighters that Mike Stafford had. Look at you just go down. He look at all the fighters from Cincinnati that he had. They was all great fighters. But in the professional ranks, they pretty much was mediocre. And it's not because they didn't have the talent. He's just not it. 817 Boxing B said facts. Mike Stafford wasn't what he was supposed to be. Nobody held AB respect, had AB's respect. If Adrien Broner had actually left, if you really want to be Floyd, if you had actually left Mike Stafford, and I know, it's loyalty and you want to come up with the man that brought you up, but sometimes you got to realize that Mike Stafford was good for me in the amateurs, but I got to move on. Sometimes you got to do what's best for you, and he never did that, and I think that was one of the biggest blows to his career. Yeah, so and Mike Stafford, he never been a good coach to professional coach to none of these fighters. Like, you can't name one fighter that you could say, okay, yeah, Mike Stafford, man, he made them he made them a beast in the professional ranks. You can't. Yeah. Yeah, by 817 Boxing B, like I said, Coach Kevin Cunningham had AB right. And like if you go when AB left and went with Coach Cunningham, right, and you look at the punch stats, AB threw the most punches in that fight than he had since he was in the lower weight classes. And that was only, I think it was a 10-round fight. And he had AB on his shit. AB looked good in that fight, but he never stuck with him because he was stuck in his ways. And Coach Cunningham, he's not gonna let that shit ride. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come to him and you're gonna be right. Love him down, gather. What's happening with it? Salute. Matthew Kisco, what's good with it? Matthew Kisco says Maidana was at his best after Robert Garcia trained him. Yeah, Robert Garcia is a hell of a trainer. I've always said this. A lot of people don't give Robert Garcia the credit that he deserves. Robert Garcia is a hell of a trainer. He trained a lot of fighters, but when Robert Garcia really lock in with you, he's a hell of a trainer. The wounded Fox, what's happening with it? Salute. But yeah, AB, if they, do go through with this Conor Benn stuff and put him in the ring with Conor Benn is going to punish AB. And see, Conor Benn is not going to let you just, run and keep your hands in your pocket and you think you're going to be able to fight Conor Benn. Conor Benn is going to go out there to knock your whole fucking face off. Conor Benn is explosive. He going to press you. He's dangerous. And Conor Ben, if AB get in the ring with Conor Ben is going out there to make a statement. And I'm telling y'all, he might hurt that boy. Conor Ben might hurt AB if that fight go down. And I don't want to see it because I don't want to see Adrien Broner go out like that. I know that he's done. I know he's done. His body is not even the same. AB's put his body through a whole bunch of horrible shit. AB is only like 31, 32 years old. Look at that man. He got all that gray in his beard and everything. Come on, AB is too young to be looking like he do. But, you know, I wish the best for AB, but I hope he get help. You know, and help is, and him being in the ring is not the help that he needs. Yeah, you can't fight everybody and lose like he did. Yeah, 8-1 boxing B. The thing with AB is that Hall of Fame stuff to me, no, he's not a Hall of Famer because when you look at AB's career, the best win that he has on his whole career is Antonio DeMarco. And yeah, you can say, well, he fought everybody, but he fought everybody in it's one thing to me if you fight everybody and you know what I'm saying, you're competitive with them. You know what I'm saying? You competitive with him. You competitive with Sean Porter. You competitive with Manny Pacquiao. You competitive with Marcos Maidana, even though that was a great fight. You know what I'm saying? You competitive with all of these top class fighters that you get in the ring with. But the thing with AB, yeah, he fought everybody, but 98% of those top fighters that he was put in the ring with, he wasn't competitive with them. He wasn't competitive with Mikey Garcia. The fight wasn't even close. He looked horrible. He looked like some shit. He wasn't competitive with what's his name? With Manny Pacquiao. He didn't even throw punches. He fought to survive. He wasn't competitive with Sean Porter. He looked like some shit. He fought to survive. He was scared to throw punches at Sean Porter. So you got to think, you can't, I'm not going to say that he was a Hall of Fame fighter because them fighters that he beat in the lower weight classes, who are they? Who are they? Who are the fighters that he beat in them lower weight classes? You don't know none of them motherfucking fighters. Right now, you don't know none of them fighters. None of them. Who the hell is Gavin Reese? Who is Escobedo? Y'all don't know none of them dudes. So when you think about it, everybody that he really fought, that was somebody he lost to him. You know what I'm saying? Really lost, and it wasn't competitive at all. So you can't put that man in no Hall of Fame just because, well, he's a 4th division world champion. Okay, well, who are these dudes that he beat? Let's keep it 100. And I know we like AB because AB for the culture. I fuck with AB heavy. But who the fuck did he beat? And you can't come in here comparing Adrien Broner to Timothy Bradley, 817 boxing B. That shit sounds silly. Come on. Stop. You can't compare Adrien Broner to Timothy Bradley. Stop it. Timothy Bradley fought top-notch fighters and beat them. Come on, bro. How the fuck you gonna come in here and talk about if Timothy Bradley is a Hall of Fame fighter, Adrien Broner is too? Man, stop the bullshit. You know better than that. Come on. You can't compare him to Timothy Bradley. Although I don't like Timothy Bradley, big egghead ass, don't do Timothy Bradley like that. Come on, bro. Timothy Bradley beat Marquez. Timothy Bradley beat the shit out of Jesse Vargas. Timothy Bradley beat the shit out of Devin Alexander. Come on, bro. Don't do that. We not gonna. I don't like Timothy Bradley at all. I can't stand this big egghead ass, but we can't. I ain't gonna disrespect that man. I'm not going to disrespect Timothy Bradley when it comes to in the ring. Timothy Bradley beat Manny Pacquiao, even though we know he lost. But I mean, he put up a way better fight than fucking Adrien Broner did. You know what I'm saying? But come on, come on, man. We ain't gonna do that to R West says relax. Devin is my cousin. Nah, man, I fuck with Devin heavy. Devin Alexander is one of the realest stand-up dudes you will meet. But I mean, I'm just telling the truth. If Devin Alexander was on here, I mean, that ain't no top secret information that he beat that he beat Devin Alexander bad. And I was rooting for Devin. But Bradley ran through him. You can't, but 8170, we know you can't do that. Come on, man. We can't do that. Even though most of us don't like Bradley, but come on. Juan Ramos, what's happening with it? He say AB only one of the few current fighters that is a 4-division champ. Can't take that away regardless. No. I don't want to hear that regardless of who he fought, right? I don't want to hear that bullshit because that's like me telling you, right? If they made, right? Check this out. Let me say this, right? If they made Adrien Broner and Gervonta Santiago, they made it for a vacant WBO belt, right? Because we know how these sanctioning bodies do. So let's say they made Gervonta Santiago and Adrien Broner for a vacant WBA belt, right? And you ain't never heard of Gervonta Santiago. And he go in there and, you know what I'm saying? He go in there and gets a gift decision from Gervonta Santiago, a fighter that you never heard of, right? And then the next fight, Gervonta Santiago get in there and gets destroyed by Gary Antoine Russell. Are you going to tell me that Adrien Broner should get credit for being a 5-division world champion because he beat Gervonta Santiago? A guy that you not going to even know, you ain't even going to remember his name 2 years from now? So don't tell me it don't matter who he beat or who he fought. You give credit for where credit is due. Adrien Broner beat Antonio DeMarco. Solid fight. Solid fighter at the time. You give him credit for that. When he won a belt at, like I said, most of them dudes that he fought, they wouldn't. Let me pull up his resume. Hold on. Let me put. He fought a couple dudes, right? He fought a couple opponents that you could say, okay, we gonna give him credit for those. And I'm talking about at the lower weight classes. Bernard Burton, what's happening with it? Salute to you, man, coming through in that super chat, man. I appreciate you. He didn't beat Paulie for no belt, though. Paulie didn't have no belt, but Paulie is. I don't know, man. Paulie is whatever. You know what I'm saying? At that point in time, at 147, anybody could have beat Paulie. And I don't want to take away nothing from AB because, like I said, at that point in time, AB was my favorite fighter, straight up and down. AB was my favorite fighter in the sport, him and Andre Ward. And I think Andre Ward was retired for most of that time. So, I was rocking with AB tough, real heavy. But let's pull up AB's resume real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know how I do. I'm going to get my point across, but the best way to do it is to put it on the screen. Put it on the screen. Hold on, y'all. Let me put this resume up on the screen. Y'all can see this. So let's go to the guys. We're going to talk about who AB beat. So he beat Jason Litzau. And that was for a vacant WBO. That was for the vacant WBC United Super Featherweight title, right? That was for a vacant belt. He beat Jason Lissow. Now, Jason Lissow, I remember Jason Lissow, white boy. He was all right, you know what I'm saying? Jason Lissow wasn't nothing special, but AB ran through him like a Mack truck. You know what I'm saying? Then he beat Vincent Martin Rodriguez. I don't know who that is. Nobody know who that is. He beat Eloy Perez, the little Mexican dude. Other than AB knocking him out, don't nobody know who that is. He beat Vincent Escobedo, another Mexican fighter that don't nobody know who it is other than AB knocking him out, right? Then he beat Antonio DeMarco. Antonio DeMarco at the time was a solid fighter. So you give him credit for Antonio DeMarco. He beat Antonio DeMarco for the WBC World Lightweight Championship. You give him credit for that, right? Before that, right? Let me back up a little bit. Let me back up a little bit because I want to go to this fight. Daniel Ponce de Leon. A lot of people say that he lost to Daniel Ponce de Leon, but I tell a lot of people that they full of shit because AB, to me, he beat Daniel Ponce de Leon. He beat Daniel Ponce de Leon, right? Solid win. It was for a vacant WBO, interim continental super featherweight title, right? A vacant, what the fuck is an interim continental super featherweight title? Is a WBO vacant interim intercontinental super featherweight title. Is that even like a real recognized belt? You know what I'm saying? That's a solid fight, but we got a question. Are they saying that he's a 4th division champion off of that belt? Because I don't even think that's a real belt. A WBO intercontinental super featherweight title. I don't know about that shit right there, right? So we got to question mark that belt right there. Now, Jason Lissow. That was for another vacant WBC United States USNBC super featherweight title. Is that even a real belt? A USNBC? Right? The United States Northern, the NBC championship of the world. I don't know. Is that really, let me see what y'all, is that, are we, come on, bro. Is that really a major title? I ain't never heard of it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no major title to me. So Vincent Martin Rodriguez, nobody know who that is. That was for vacant WBO. Now we know that the WBO super featherweight title, that's a real title, right? So he beats Vincent Martin Rodriguez for another vacant belt, but this is a real title, a WBO title. It was vacant. Nobody know who Vincent Rodriguez is. Who the fuck is Vincent Rodriguez? Only reason we know who he is because Adrien Broner knocked him out. Right? So that's one title, right? Bam. From a guy we don't know. But that's a real title. Them other belts was like some second, third hand bullshit, right? Then he fights Eloy Perez for no, he just defends his title against Eloy Perez. Then he fights Vincent Escobedo for a vacant WBO. Wait, let me see. No, that's the same. Yeah, he defends his title against Vincent Escobedo. Nobody know who the fuck that is, right? Now he fights for the WBC World Lightweight Champion, right? He moves up to lightweight and fights Antonio DeMarco. So that's 2 belts. So I'm going to give him credit for the Antonio DeMarco belt that he won because that Eloy Perez shit, come on now. Who the fuck is Eloy Perez? We going to give him credit for Antonio DeMarco. That's 1 belt, right? I'm going to give you credit for it. And because that vacant bullshit fighting them dudes ain't nobody heard of, I ain't feeling that shit. So Antonio DeMarco, yeah, bam. That's some shit you can brag about. So when you come around, oh, I'm a 4th division world champion, man, who did you fight? Now, Then, right, he defends his title against Gavin Reese. Another bullshit fight. Then he moves up to 147 and he beats Paulie Malignaggi by split decision for a WBA World Welterweight title. I give him credit for that fight. That's 2, right? We know what happened in Marcos Maidana fight. Then he fights Carlos Molina for the super lightweight championship, right? Carlos Molina, he wins another vacant WBA international super lightweight. A WBA international. Is the WBA international, is that a major title? I don't know. But Carlos Molina, who the fuck is Carlos Molina? Do we know him besides him getting beat by Adrien Broner? No. He defends it against Emmanuel Taylor, you know. And where else? We gonna skip. We know what happened in Shanpur and all that. Then he wins, you know, really, he wins another belt, a vacant belt, another vacant belt from Khabib out the V, how the heck, against Khabib, right? However the hell you say his name. Let's look at Khabib. We know he ain't fought nobody, right? Khabib, let me see. Khabib lost to Jesse Vargas. He ain't even fought since he fought. Khabib ain't even fought since he fought Adrien Broner back in 2015. So Khabib ain't never stepped in the ring no more. Khabib, right before Adrien Broner beat Khabib, Jesse Vargas had beat Khabib. And other than that, Khabib ain't really never fought nobody. He fought Nate Campbell, but Nate Campbell was old at that point in time, and none of these other dudes we know. So with that being said, we know the rest of Adrien Broner's career. Let's come back. Now, who the fuck did he fight? I read a whole bunch of fucking vacant titles against a whole bunch of nobodies. Now, I put it in your face. Now, I want somebody to come on here and tell me, when you talk about all these 4 division, one, I want you to tell me, when you talk about all these, oh, he's a 4 division champion, what stood out to you about any of them belts besides Antonio DeMarco? Off of all that vacant shit that I read, what stood out besides anything that I just read off other than Antonio DeMarco? What stood out to you? Keep it 100. One. Let me know. Yes or no. Did anything on what I just read out, did that anything sound impressive to you? You said only Paulie. So, let me think about Paulie, man. Let me think about Paulie, right? Because I don't want to take no credit away from AB moving up to 147 and fight Paulie. But Paulie can't knock you out, right? Paulie Malignaggi, right? One right now. One, right? And I don't even know how strong your chin is, one. But one right now. I guarantee you, if you stood up and let Paulie Malignaggi take off and still on your chin, I guarantee you that you'll be still standing after Paulie Malignaggi hit you. We seen Paulie Malignaggi go to the bare knuckle fighting and get his motherfucking ass beat. And he wasn't hitting shit. That motherfucker, the bare knuckle dude said Paulie Malignaggi couldn't punch his way through a fucking wet piece of tissue paper. Hey, Paulie can't punch his way through a wet piece of tissue paper. So that was the easiest fight that you could take at that point in time with anybody that had a belt. Let's pull up Paulie Malignaggi at 147 right now. You know, at that point in time in Paulie's career, you know, he was washed up. Paulie is 36-8, and he didn't lost by he didn't got stopped 5 times, right? And Adrien Broner barely eked out a split decision against Paulie. You remember Paulie was touching up AB. Paulie was touching him up, but he just didn't have no motherfucking power. Paulie Malignaggi, right? He did beat Zab Judah by unanimous decision. He got stopped by Sean Porter, stopped by Danny Garcia. He got stopped by Sam Eggington. But we'll give him credit for Paulie. We gonna give AB credit for getting a split decision win over Paulie. Right? We're going to give him credit for getting a split decision win over Paulie because I did have AB winning that fight against Paulie. He landed the more harder shots against Paulie. So we're going to give him credit for that. But other than Paulie, in Antonio DeMarco, you could throw that 4th division shit out the window with me because all of that vacant Intercontinental fucking NBC World Championship belts, that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even gotta have no strong chin to take a punch from Paulie. Real talk. But yeah, so my whole thing with all of that being said, AB, all of that shit is smoke and mirrors. A lot of that shit, them accolades that AB had is smoke and mirrors. Let's just keep it 100. T-Bibbs, what's happening with it? A lot of that shit that AB was doing when you go down his resume at the lower weight classes, a lot of them shit that he was getting all that credit for being Floyd Mayweather-ish and all, a lot of that shit was smoke and mirrors. Because anytime he stepped in the ring with anybody that was really good besides Antonio DeMarco, he either lost or he barely won, barely edged out a decision. So but you know what I'm saying, and yeah, Ponce de Leon wasn't for a belt. You know what I'm saying? I give him credit for beating Ponce de Leon. A lot of people said he lost that fight, like I said earlier, but I thought he won against Ponce de Leon, but it wasn't for no belt. And there was another fight he barely won. If you want some Floyd Mayweather shit, you're supposed to be beating the shit out of dudes like Ponce de Leon. You dig what I'm saying? You're supposed to be beating the shit out of Ponce de Leon. Oh, come on, John. Batman. Come on, Batman. Come on now. Batman say AB gets stopped by Antoine Russell, but he fighting Conor Benn. Come on, bro. We know that Antoine Russell run through AB like a Mack truck. That fight ain't even competitive. Tyree Howard says which AB is better, Broner or Berto? Don't do Berto like that, Tyree Howard. Don't do, but Berto is a much better fighter. See, we all go off about, see, the thing with us, because we all loved AB. AB brought something to the boxing that intrigued us that we hadn't seen in a long time, right? We hadn't seen somebody like AB with the charisma of a Deion Sanders, of a T.O. in boxing like that in a long time, right? Floyd did it, but Floyd did it in a more snobby way, like throwing his money around. We wanted to see a street nigga come out raw and funny and you know what I'm saying, clowning. And AB gave us all of that. We hadn't seen that in a long time, right? So we all gravitated to AB as in the urban culture gravitated to AB, right? But most of us, since we liked AB, we tend to go off of what we think AB could have been, but he never was. It was that shit that we thought he could have been, he never was. So when you talk about comparing AB and Berto, it's really no comparison because Andre Berto was a lot better than AB. Andre Berto, one thing that Andre Berto was going to do, especially when he was in his prime, guys that AB was having problems with or barely getting past, I'm going to say guys that Adrien Broner was barely getting past, Andre Berto was knocking their ass out. Those caliber opponents. Andre Berto in his prime, right? Because AB was supposed to be still in his prime when he fought Paulie Malignaggi, right? If you put if you put Andre Berto in the ring in his prime against that same Paulie Malignaggi, Andre Berto would have blitzed through him. They would have had to carry Paulie Malignaggi out on the stretcher, fucking with Andre Berto in his prime against that Paulie Malignaggi. So yeah, I think that Andre Berto was definitely a better fighter. So I'm gonna close this out, but if you put anybody in the ring with Adrien Broner, I don't want to see him in the ring with a Conor Benn. Conor Benn is gonna hurt that boy, right? But I wouldn't mind seeing him in the ring against an Andre Berto. We know Andre Berto is washed up and AB is washed up. They friends. Put them in the ring against each other if you want to see AB in the ring with somebody. Put them in the ring against Andre Berto. They both washed up. That's a good fight. And I love Andre Berto, but we know that, Andre Berto is washed up. So let's move along, right? Let's go ahead and move along, right? Because this is something I want to talk about. I see a lot of these, the media, and I see a lot of channels too. And even some of you niggas I'm talking to, even some of you black channels have ran with this shit, this narrative against Jermall Charlo, right? And see, one thing I do is I'm going to criticize a fighter when they on some bullshit when it has to do with boxing, right? If you duck it, if you out here acting like, you know what I'm saying, acting like a hoe, I'm going to call it out. If you out here, you ain't fighting nobody, I'm going to call it out, and I'm going to get on these fighters' helmets about things that has to do with boxing. Me personally, I don't never criticize things that go on in the fighter's personal life. I talked about some of the shit that Adrien Broner is doing because everybody know it. He puts it out there for everybody to see. I never talked about when Adrien Broner got accused, the criminal things that he's been accused for. I never talked about it. I never shit on AB for none of that shit, right? Because I wasn't there. I don't know what went down, and it ain't none of my fucking business to be judging, his criminal things, the things that he's accused of. So I see a lot of y'all niggas out here talking bad about Charlo. Oh, Charlo this, and he shouldn't have, and now he should, you know what I'm saying? And that's some bullshit, right? Because we know how the media does to slander these fighters, right? And to make them look bad, right? And we know how women will lie on the fighter just so they can get money out of them, right? Now, let me tell y'all, some of y'all need to use common sense because Jermall Charlo, as rich as he is, all of the shit that Jermall Charlo got, you think that Jermall Charlo needs to steal anything from anybody? Do you think that Jermall Charlo needs to steal some funky fucking check, a check from somebody else's tab? You think that he needs to steal some money out of somebody else's tab and run off with it, right? They tried to put out a story making it seem like that Jermall Charlo, he got irate, you know what I'm saying, because his credit card wouldn't go through and the lady tried to explain to it and he got pissed off and he snatched somebody else's tab and ran out of the door. And when he was running out of the door, him and his team, they trampled over the lady and she suffered an injury. That's some bullshit. She ain't suffered shit. You know what I'm saying? Whoever the fuck she is, we all know she's trying to get some money. They out here putting out narratives, lying on Jermall Charlo, and they running with, and y'all out here running with the fucking news and running with this story, right? We see this shit happen all the time. And everybody want to report the shit. Oh, Jermall Charlo charged with felonies. Jermall Charlo burglary and all this fucking dumb shit, right? Talking about some burglary or what did they call it? I think that's what they call it, right? Theft and burglary, right? But when Sergey Kovalev did all of the shit that he did, you had evidence of what Sergey Kovalev did, right? His victim came and did interviews. His victim showed how he beat her up, how her eyes was black, how he broke her ribs and all type of shit. But none of that fucking news was going across the ESPN headline. And a lot of y'all motherfuckers throwing this shit out there, that's throwing Jermall Charlo story out there, getting on him on YouTube. Y'all wasn't saying nothing about that shit. Right? But you want to run all over the headlines talking about Jermall Charlo trying to flip the story, just going off of what they fucking told you. We know how they do in the media. Now, this is what Jermall Charlo's attorney had to say about the situation, about what happened, right? And I'm going to read it to y'all. I'm going to read y'all what Jermall Charlo attorney said, right? It says Schaefer vigorously defends his client in an email, right? So this is what Jermall Charlo's attorney has to say. Oh yeah, robbery. Talking about not burglary. I'm sorry, I meant robbery. Trying to charge them, talking about, oh, he robbed someone. They're charging him with robbery. That's some bullshit. Ain't none of that shit gonna stick in court. But I'm gonna read to y'all right now, and y'all like my y'all make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure that you hit the like button. That's if you can't do nothing else, hit the like button. So I'm gonna read y'all what his attorney said. His attorney says when they ran his card, it was declined, and then he received a fraud alert from Chase Bank asking if he was the one who made the charge. This shit happens all of the time, right? Caleb Plant, go make another account. This clown ass dude coming here every day, right? Go get on another phone and make another account. Bye. So if you can come back in time to make another account so I could block that account. But anyway, so if you know how banks work, sometimes when it's a large charge, you know, or you somewhere that they're not familiar with, they're gonna decline the charge, and they're gonna send a text to your phone asking you if you're the one that made the charge. This shit happens all of the time, right? It happens all of the time. So, it says, so anyway, so the bank, you know, text him asking him if he was the one that made the charge, right? So when Jermall Charlo, so let me read it, right? So it says the bank asked him if he was the one that made the charge. He responded yes, and they told him to have the charge submitted again, right? The waitress went and ran it again and came back saying that she could not find his card, right? She came back without his card. That's what they're saying, that she came back without his card. Jermall was upset that his card was missing since it was a debit card tied to an account that had, you know, a lot of cash in it. Then it says the waitress had his license sticking out of the portfolio, and he took his license back, saying that he didn't want her to lose his license. He says by this time, many club employees, because I guess they was like in the club, right? By this time, it says many club employees were gathering in the hallway. So Jermall Charlo handlers wanted to get him out of the club before trouble started in the club with employees. They said that they walked Jermall Charlo to his car. Hours later, Jermall's assistant made contact with the club to give them another credit card, right? To give them another credit card number, right? So they could pay the tab that he walked off and left. They contacted them to give them another credit card number so they could pay the tab. And it says that the club of owner or whoever was, running shit, they refused to accept the card. Right? So they took that story. Oh, and you know what I'm saying? Oh, he's being charged with robbery. The fuck he needs to rob somebody for? All the money that man got, you think that man is actually worried about taking somebody else's tab and running out with it? They tried to make it seem like he snatched somebody else's tab and ran out the door with it. Come on now. Use fucking common sense. And this happens all the time. It's happened to me before, to where they run your card and you got money on it. You know the money there. And they like, well, it's declining. Well, run it again. Ain't no way it's declining because I got the money in there. It shouldn't be declining. And then they run it again. Well, it's not, it's not going through, sir. Right? And then when it don't go through, you like, well, man, let me call my bank, right? And the bank lets you know, okay, yeah, we blocked the charges, whatever. That shit happens all the time. And also, what happens all the time, I've been in the club where a waitress, right, don't come back with your bread. I've been in the club plenty of times. I didn't have one of my homeboys where a waitress didn't come back with his shit. He ran back in the dressing room. Like, hold on, now where the fuck my bread at? So, I mean, you got to put, some of the stories together. Yeah, he might have got pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Jermall Charlo got pissed. He might have got pissed off. But he ain't touched that fucking waitress. So her talking about, oh, I sustained a leg injury because they was rushing through. Come on now, stop. I sustained a leg injury. Come back, make another account, and come back again. Make another account and come back again. See, Eddie Cetera, you one of them dudes, you one of them, you one of them closet racist motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? This ain't the channel for you. See, you one of them dudes that hope and pray, right, that something bad happened to a black fighter that you don't like, right? That's your whole thing. You hope and pray something bad happened, right? So I know how you are. I know what type of dude you is already. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Why you worried about why somebody else didn't pay for it? What you mean? That ain't none of your fucking business, nor is it mine. That ain't for you to be worried about. You more so worried about Jermall Charlo being charged with something because you want to see, you want to see him fall. And that right there, that's some weird shit to me. That's some weird shit to me, to why you want to see another person, human, I don't give a fuck what color they are, why you want to see him fall. That's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? And he just told you that they tried to give them another credit card so they could pay the bill, and the people refused it. You know why they refused it? Because they knew who they was dealing with. They know, okay, we ain't gonna take nothing. We got a lawsuit on our hand. Come on now. And this, right? This lets you know everything you need to know when the news come out talking about the lady, she sustained injuries, a leg injury. What the fuck? Come on now. She sustained a leg injury from the people because they were barging through the door at a rate, and they ran over her and she sustained a leg injury. Oh yeah, I bet she did, huh? I bet she had to go to the fucking ER after that, and she was in ICU after that. Man, these bitches need to stop with this shit. She sustained a injury. Come on. When I heard that shit, I already knew what it was. She sustained it. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? She knew what it was. She was trying to get bread out of him from the fucking jump. She was trying to get bread out of him from the jump, you know. And now he got a lawsuit that he gonna have to pay this bitch. You know what I'm saying? But these dudes, they need to know, man, certain situations that you got to stay out of. You know, you can't put yourself in certain situations because you got people that's trying to get money from you any and every way you can. But you know, they out here flipping stories, lying on Jermall Charlo. You got this female lying on him. This bitch talking about she fucking sustained a serious injury. Stop, man. Like, stop that bullshit. And so none of those charges are going to stick. None of it is going to stick. Jermall Charlo, all he going to do is have to fucking pay out some money. He going to have to come out of the pocket with some money. He probably going to have to pay this bitch that's faking like she got an injury. And that's just what it is, you know. But I'm sick of these groupie ass females doing this shit, you know. But these fighters got to learn, you know, they got to stay out of these type of situations, you know. And they got to control the people that's around them. And I do understand what you saying, Eddie, when you saying, well, one of his people should have paid for it. But we don't know what type of people he got around him. If I'm with him, right? If I know that's my man's, right? And I got the money, hey, you know what? Because you should have people around you that's going to look out for you, right? And so I'm like, hey, man, fuck her. You know what I'm saying? This is me, man, fuck her. You know what I'm saying? Fuck these people, man. I got it. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about it. I got it. Just get me back, you know what I'm saying? Just get me back when we did. I ain't even dealing with these people. You know what I'm saying? Just give me the money back. I'm not even dealing with these people. You know what I'm saying? I got you. Don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about it. Let's get up out of here. But sometimes you don't got them type of people around you. I don't know what the situation was, but I know the situations that they want to see these celebrities in. You know what I'm saying? I know the situation that they want to see these celebrities in. And it's a shame, you know, that when we hear stories like this, first of all, it's a shame that ESPN runs with these type of stories. Why you running with those stories, but Kovalev was your fighter? And the shit that he did, y'all didn't even speak on it. Why? What's his name that got charged with the murder, right? They barely spoke on that. They barely, my man with Top Rank that got charged with murdering his girlfriend not too long ago. Man, I can't think of his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. They barely spoke on that situation. Batman said, that's why I keep cash on me at all times. Hey, but you know, you can't fault that man for not keeping cash on him. That's his personal preference. Batman say, he said, wish that nigga Maul was in here because he say race don't matter, but it's a couple of Mexicans shitting on his brother. Man, people got to get off that bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? People got to get off that bullshit. Because if this was Canelo Alvarez, I'll be saying the Felix Verdejo. Yeah, they barely spoke on that Felix Verdejo shit. They let the news come across the little thing, but they ain't speak on that shit really, right? So, if this was Canelo Alvarez, if it was fucking Vasil Lomachenko, I'd be saying the same shit. That they out to get him because he got money. I'll be a damn fool to be sitting up here thinking that Canelo Alvarez fucking ran out with somebody else's money because he trying to rob somebody. Come on now. I'll be a goddamn fool to be coming on here. You see what Canelo did? Or you see what Vasil Lomachenko did? You know what I'm saying? He ran off with them people money. He tried to, come on. That's just fucking ignorance. It's ignorance. But see, y'all know that shit don't be true, but you gonna run with the story just because you like to see another black man fail. You wanna see him have to, you know what I'm saying, do some time, or you wanna see that shit. That shit will put a smile on your face. Some of that, you know what I'm saying, that'll put a smile on your face. But you know, it's just ignorance at the end of the day. Whether you black, Mexican, white, or purple, that shit is ignorant. George Paul says, how did the waitress lose his credit card though? He says, I feel like it was some funny shit going on. Yeah, they said she ain't come back with his credit card. So it makes sense. If she ain't come back with his credit card, right? His story sounds a lot more believable than that bullshit that they said, right? So, because first of all, like I said, common sense to tell you that you don't need to steal nothing from nobody, right? So it makes sense that she came back and he like, man, just give me my fucking credit card, give me my ID, and I'm gone, right? And she like, I don't have a credit card. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a credit card. She might have left it in the back. No telling what she did, right? She might have kept the shit, act like, I can't find it, so she could try to run his shit later on. Man, she just a fucking waitress. She ain't got no money. She don't have no money, and she handling his shit where he probably got millions on his shit in his bank account, right? So no telling what she did. So then he gets pissed off, and she's holding another folder, right? And he see his ID. He's like, man, fuck that. Give me the shit. And he just snatch it and he dip out. He snatch it and he dip out, right? Not knowing what it is. I'm pissed off now. I'm gone. They call back. Hey, you know what I'm saying? We still gonna pay the tab. What's the tab? Oh no, we don't want that. We're pressing charges. We're going to the authority. But you know, it's just stupid. They know who these people are. When it's a celebrity, a fighter, or whoever, they know who they are and they know what type of money they got. Ain't none of those charges gonna stick at the end of the day. So if y'all, whoever praying and wishing that he has to, you know what I'm saying, that he gets has to do jail time over this and a felony sticks, ain't none of that shit gonna stick. YY 930-2010, what's happening with it? Salute. But yeah, it happens all the time with when you got a big purchase or something, you know what I'm saying? No telling how high that tab was. You know what I'm saying? No telling how high that tab was in the club. We know that a lot of these fighters, they go to the club and they show out and they run up big ass tabs. So no telling how high that tab was. Eddie, why are you so worried about Charlo having to get in trouble or having, like, what is that? Like, I don't understand what that does for your soul. Like, I don't understand that shit. You said Charlo, they should make him have to wash dishes for 6 months. Like, what does that do for you? I don't understand. Like, how is that going to make you feel good? I mean, at the end of the day, his life is still going to move on. You still going to have the same life you got, whatever that life that is. Like, how is that going to do some good for you? I don't understand that. You feel me? It just don't make no sense. I really don't understand why are you so concerned about Charlo having to suffer some type of consequences. What does that do for you? That's like, to me, that's weird, man. That shit's weird. I don't understand. Now I can understand if Charlo assaulted somebody, you know what I'm saying, a woman or a child or you know, an innocent civilian or something, and you felt some type of way about it, and you feel like, okay, he needs to suffer some consequences because that shit was just fucked up. But we talking about we talking about, you know what I'm saying, him fucking walking out of the club, essentially walking out of a club pissed off because, you know what I'm saying, his card was getting declined. Why are you so worried about that shit, bro? I don't understand that. Shit crazy, man. But anyway, man. So with that being said, you know, let's move on before I get up out of here. You know, it's getting late. I'm gonna get up out of here, but I want to talk about this Deontay Wilder situation real quick, right? Now we all know that Wilder and Fury supposed to be fighting on October the 9th. Wilder and Fury, I hope it go through, but they already putting in the fix. And y'all hit my like button if y'all ain't hit my like button yet. If you can't do nothing, smash on that like button for me if you can't do nothing, right? But they already putting in the fix for Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. I mean, they're already putting in the fix for Wilder, right? Not to be able to fight for undisputed. The fix is already in, right? Now, this shit is pitiful because we knew how they was doing Wilder when he was the WBC champion. They basically made it impossible for him to get in the ring for undisputed with Anthony Joshua. And they let you know if Wilder beats Tyson Fury, you won't see no Wilder in Anthony Joshua, right? Frank Warren has already said that if Deontay Wilder beats, right, if Deontay Wilder beats Tyson Fury, it's not going to be no Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua next. He says that they're going to push and they're going to have Joe Joyce fight Anthony Joshua if Anthony Joshua gets past Usyk. That they're going to be in works to make Joe Joyce and Usyk next if Deontay Wilder beats Tyson Fury and if Anthony Joshua gets past Usyk, right? But they letting it be known if Tyson Fury comes away with the victory over Deontay Wilder, they're immediately gonna go into making a fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua for undisputed. So they already showing you that the fix is in. They're doing anything and everything they can to keep Deontay Wilder from becoming undisputed. The same thing that they did when Deontay Wilder was the WBC champion before. If y'all cannot see that they do not want Deontay Wilder in the ring with Anthony Joshua, and point blank period, they don't want Deontay Wilder to be undisputed at all. So the fix is already in. It looks like that Deontay Wilder, no matter what he does, he's not ever going to be able to fight for undisputed. They're going to keep him from that fight. The politics are going to keep Deontay Wilder. If he beats Fury, right, they're going to keep him from being able to fight for undisputed. And we can see that from a mile away. They basically telling you, you know, right in front of your face, oh, no. Right? Because why when Tyson Fury is the champion, oh, we'll make that fight right now. They're going over and beyond to make Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. But when Deontay Wilder is the champion, or when his name is brought up when he's not the champion, when he has a big possibility to become a champion again, it's all type of other excuses. Now it's now you got all type of other opponents that they trying to put and make a roadblock so he can't become undisputed. This shit is just it's outrageous. It's outrageous. And I know what it is. They don't want him being undisputed. They're trying to blackball Deontay Wilder from ever being able to fight for undisputed. And it's just some bullshit. And you know, y'all hit my like button. So if Deontay Wilder beats Tyson Fury, I'm saying that to say this, that we're not going to see Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. And we might not ever see that fight. We might not ever see that fight. Because Anthony Joshua is one shot away from losing it all. And what I mean by that is Anthony Joshua don't have no chin. So all it's going to take is one shot for Anthony Joshua to lose it all. And in the meantime, they're going to continue to run around Deontay Wilder. They're going to continue to keep away from Deontay Wilder because they do not want him becoming undisputed champion of the world. Straight up. In the meantime, they're going to continue playing keep away. That's all it is. If Wilder is champion, we're going to play keep away. That's all they're doing. Because nobody can force them to fight Deontay Wilder. I never seen somebody run from a WBC championship belt that much other than how these dudes do with Devin Haney and Gary Russell. This shit ought to be, when it comes to Deontay Wilder, Gary Russell, and Devin Haney, all of a sudden the WBC championship belt don't mean nothing. That shit's crazy. And you would think, I thought that the WBC championship belt, everybody was supposed to want that belt because it's the most prestigious belt. But not if they got the belts. You know what I'm saying? Not if they got the belts. That shit crazy. But with that being said, you know, we've been over an hour and a half. Make sure that y'all hit my like button. I appreciate everybody coming in here rocking with me once again. And y'all already know how I do. Salute to everybody in the chat, even the haters that's in the chat. You know what I'm saying? And if you's a troll, make another account and come back tomorrow. But anyway, like I said, salute to everybody. I appreciate y'all. Hit my like button before we get up out of here. And until tomorrow, y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone.